When the past knocks. The day I closed the door for good. Why do some people keep the door cracked open for their exes? That's a question I never used to think much about, until my own life offered a brutal, personal answer. And now, it's a question I find myself returning to again and again. So let me take you back to the beginning. Back before the pain, before the doubt, before everything I thought was solid started to rot from the inside out. The beginning of us. I met Leah years before we ever dated. Back then, she was involved with a guy named Trevor, the kind of man whose name alone used to make people's faces tighten. Not from jealousy or admiration, but from discomfort. He had a way of turning every room into a minefield. Explosive tempers. Stone-cold silences. Gaslighting disguised as affection. You name it, he mastered it. I never tried to intervene. It wasn't my place. But I saw what he did to her. How she began shrinking into herself. The way her smile stopped reaching her eyes. The way she flinched at raised voices, even from strangers. Then one day she walked away. Just like that. And the woman who emerged from the ashes of that relationship wasn't the same Leah. She was quieter, guarded, still beautiful, still sharp, but like someone nursing invisible wounds. I didn't try to turn that moment into a romantic opportunity. I just showed up, for conversations, errands, whatever she needed. A few months later, when she seemed to find her footing again, I asked her out. She said yes. And just like that we started something new. We fell fast. Maybe because we'd already shared a kind of emotional intimacy. Maybe because we both knew what pain looked like and were determined to avoid causing more of it. Within 18 months, we were engaged and living together. Life was peaceful, warm. We made memories over late-night movies, shared meals, long drives, and weekend flea markets. I thought I had found my forever. Until one small moment cracked everything open. That name in her call log. It was a Tuesday. Nothing special about it. I had just gotten home and couldn't find my phone anywhere. Checked the kitchen counter, dug through couch cushions, even peeked under the rug like some kind of sitcom idiot. So I grabbed Leah's phone. Simple enough. Just to call mine and make it ring. But as I opened her call log, something stopped me cold. Trevor. Not a missed call from months ago. Not a pocket dial from who knows. It was from 3 days ago. My heart tightened. I stared at the name, hoping I was mistaken. Maybe it was someone else with the same name. I opened the messages. No. There they were. Conversations. Usual. Friendly. Too friendly. After everything she'd told me, how toxic he was, how damaging that relationship had been, it made no sense. When I walked into the bedroom, phone still in hand, and asked her calmly, "Why are you still talking to him?" Her expression shifted immediately. Not defensive, just surprised. Like a kid caught sneaking out but still trying to act like it's no big deal. She said it was nothing. That Trevor had reached out, and she responded. Just catching up, she insisted. I told her plainly. That crosses a line. She nodded and said, "If it makes you feel better, I'll cut it off. I don't want to lose what we have." And for a brief moment I believed her. A shift. But something changed after that. Slowly. Leah, who used to leave her phone on the coffee table while folding laundry or cooking, suddenly kept it glued to her body like a second skin. She didn't even leave it in the room when she went to the bathroom. It was small things at first, quickly turning the screen away when I walked past, silencing her notifications, chuckling at messages she wouldn't share. I told myself I was being paranoid. But deep down I knew. One Thursday, I had an early meeting and left the house in a rush. Halfway to work, I realized I forgot a hard drive I needed for a client pitch. I decided to swing back home during lunch to grab it. Normally, I'd text Leah to let her know, but that day I didn't bother. Just wanted to get in and out. Picked up the drive. As I walked back to the car, I figured I had time for coffee, so I stopped by this little cafe a few blocks away. My usual spot. And there, in the back corner, I saw her. Leah. Sitting across from Trevor. They were talking. Smiling. She reached across the table and touched his hand. They hadn't seen me yet. I stood frozen for a moment. Then I walked over, calm as ever, and said 4 words. "Don't come back home." She blinked. Son. Didn't say a word. I left before she could. The end begins. When I returned home that evening, she was there, waiting. She tried to explain. Said Trevor was going through something. Claimed she was just being supportive. Nothing romantic, she insisted. I let her talk. When she finished, I asked one question. "Didn't you promise me you were done with him?" She hesitated. That second of silence said more than any excuse ever could. "So why are you sitting across from him in a café, holding his hand?" She stuttered, grumbled, apologized, swore it meant nothing. But I was already gone. Mentally, emotionally. That trust she broke wasn't coming back. I told her clearly and firmly. "If he's still that important to you, go be with him." She begged. She cried. But I didn't budge. I asked her to pack a few things and leave. Closure comes quietly. Few days passed. She hadn't returned for her things. Hadn't tried to face the reality I gave her. Maybe she thought I'd cool off. That time would soften me. But I wasn't acting out of rage. I was acting out of clarity. So I packed her belongings into boxes and called her. She thought it was reconciliation. But when she arrived and saw the boxes by the door, her face dropped. She realized finally that it was over. She called afterward, but I didn't answer. The texts followed. First remorse. Then insults. She said I was insecure, controlling, not man enough to handle a strong woman. Her final jab. Trevor was always better anyway. I read it. Closed the thread. Replied once. Then go be with him. Blocked her after that. Lessons I learned the hard way. In the weeks that followed, I did a lot of soul-searching. Quiet mornings. Long drives. Late nights alone. And through that silence, I came to a few realizations. 1. Trust once broken never looks the same. You can tape it together, but the cracks stay visible, and they always cut. 2. Boundaries must be spoken, not assumed. I should have made it clear early on that some connections don't belong in a new life. 3. Promises mean nothing without action. If someone's words and behavior don't match, listen to the behavior. 4. Emotional detachment is not harmless. You can't move forward while dragging the past behind you. 5. Walking away isn't weakness. It's self-respect. There's nothing noble about staying with someone who won't choose you completely. So that's my story. If you were in my place, would you have done the same? Would you have given her another chance? Or closed the door for good? Let me know what you'd do. Because in the end, love isn't about grand gestures or poetic promises. It's about consistency, respect, boundaries, and knowing when to stop holding the door open for someone who keeps walking back to their past.